Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. This is episode 484. I'm here as talented and beautiful Vivi. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. Finally.
Hey, you know, it's all the technology. See, it takes time, but we will get there.
Thank you, and hi everybody. Hi to those who are watching. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day.
No, absolutely. And it's a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest on the show. If our people who want to know what my talk show is about, hopefully my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And you should prove to them you can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. So that being said, it's going to be a half hour, 32 minutes of your time. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
I absolutely love the reason why you have your talk show. It's really close to what I want to do. I mean, I want to empower women, minorities. Also, I am, by the way, I am a journalist. I'm a fashion journalist, entertainment journalist. I write for 5 magazines. So one of the goals I have set for myself is to have one day a talk show where I can actually empower women, empower minorities. Because me myself, I'm from Milan, and I'm living in a different country. I'm living in the United States, and as you can imagine, I've been living as a minority. I don't really like to label myself, but um, I like to empower people that feel maybe have it a little bit difficult than other people. I really like to share my strength. Um, I I really, by living by myself here in United States for 5 years, I can tell I can definitely share something positive, empower people, and just give some motivation. I think that's what I would like to do.
No, absolutely. Now I'm gonna start off with the easy questions, and then we can go to the hard hitting ones. I made a little list for you. And the first one is, how was the transition from coming over from one country to the other? Was there a big transition for you?
Well, when I first moved in 2013, I moved with a cultural exchange program. The reason I wanted to move was because I wanted to better myself. I would learn English. Then when I was in Milan, I couldn't really find what I was looking for. I felt like I was limited in my, you know, opportunities. There were not so many opportunities in my field, and I'm graduating mass media communication, public relation, and television broadcasting. So I was just feeling limited in that environment, and I was always dreaming about New York, about United States, from the movies. I was like, that's really the place because I feel like they open to new people. They actually have meritocracy. They they give, you eventually will succeed if you put hard work in what you do and dedication. So it's like, there is meritocracy, something that I haven't seen in my own country. So I just wanted to go. I've been to New York for visiting when I was 17. So that idea didn't just came from the movies. Also because I've been in New York when what it was like in 2007, I believe. I was 17 years old, and it was like I was so excited because I saw the buildings, and then like it's just the vibe, that caught my attention. I was feeling free. I was feeling like everything is possible. I mean, I was like, no, this is gonna be my home. I wanted to come back to New York, and so it was a dream of mine. And then eventually, after graduation, for after a series of events, meaning that I was basically rejected everywhere I was going. Like work wise, I couldn't really like succeed like the way I wanted. I couldn't take my career to the level I wanted, and I was underestimated. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go and move to the United States without knowing English, without knowing anybody. I was just like, I just want to go and better myself. So that's what I did. And the transition, to respond to your question, wasn't so easy at first, because as you can imagine, like people think you're kind of like dumb when you can't respond the way you wish to the questions. They'd be like, oh, it's kind of frustrating at first, especially when you talk of over the phone, but it's something that is really worth. It's like a process that is worth the results. Like you got to go through that in order to be better. So I mean, I'll say it wasn't so easy, but I enjoyed the process too.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is I saw that you were a award winner.
Yes. So I won an award at the international competition, the Stevie Awards for Women in Business. And I won that award because I used to produce my own show, like you do, about fashion, lifestyle. I used to go, to interview. Actually, I still do that, but I'm just having different projects right now. But yeah, I just won that award with my show called Fancy Talks. It was aired on Time Warner Cable. Now it became Spectrum, but at the time, like 2 years ago, was Time Warner Cable on channel 1993, 34, and also in Texas on Televisa Houston, which is television and on digital. It's channel 21. Oh my God, oh, the 21.4, if I'm not wrong, because I couldn't really see it, but I was sending the TV, I was sending them the contents, I was covering events and everything, I was editing, I was doing everything, production, I was doing interviews, hosting. I had my crew, my camera crew with all this, the people like following me around the event, and I was sending them the content, and they were just airing the content. So, and then also in Italy, but they took it down because it was mainly in English, and most of the people in Italy don't speak English, so nobody would really understand. Even though I was putting subtitle, they found it really, really difficult to read, and so I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna do it for the American people then. But yeah, that's why I won the award, and I won the award for the category Young Female Entrepreneur of the Year under 30 years old, and it was a great experience. A lot of women that are chief CEO of their own companies from all over the world were there at that particular event, and I really, really love it. I met a lot of interesting people. And by the way, that contest, funny things, I discovered that in 2005, um well, so okay, the Stevie Award doesn't just do women in business. There's different things, best business of the year, things like that, that has different categories. I was selected for the women in business, but there are different categories, and in one of them, Donald Trump won in 2015. So I was like, wow. I was like, you know even though you're not a Trump supporter, but like I'm not really a Trump supporter, but I found out, that was like a very high level competition, so I'm very proud of myself, that's for sure.
No, absolutely, and you should be. It's a big it's a big. No, say it's a big I can't even speak. It's a big
Yeah,
congratulations, accomplishment.
nice.
It's one in. It's basically a highlight in your life. It's one of your greatest accomplishments.
Yes.
Now, the next one I was going to ask you is just so I saw you were a TV personality. Who influenced you to become a TV personality, and how did all that come about?
So I've always loved to be in front of a camera. I've always loved to talk. In fact, you can see that I like to talk. I'm like a talkative person, and I think I feel very comfortable in front of a camera. It comes out naturally. Something that I've always wanted to do, and I believe everything started with watching MTV. When I was little with my sister. At first, I wanted to be a singer, and I remember me and my sister, like, she was playing the videographer for me, and I was like remaking videos and stuff, and it was so much fun. And that's how we started. And I've always wanted to be on TV, that's for sure, or in the entertainment. It's just that at first I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like in the process of discovering yourself when you're little. I mean, I wasn't the person that I knew right away what I wanted to do. I kind of knew I wanted to be on TV, and I wanted to be like a TV personality, but I didn't know, because also I had to convince myself that would have been that is possible, because in the environment I grew up in Italy, um, so many people are close-minded. It's not like in the US, where everything is possible, and if you want to be an actor, you can be an actor. In Italy, it's kind of, there is a different mentality where people take that as a hobby. So I was feeling kind of discouraged by that. Like, also my own parents were like, you know just, this is not gonna happen. You're not gonna become that. So just take it, like, they always try to protect me to disillusions and just to failure. But I feel that's something that you shouldn't do. But anyways, I've found out. I thank God I listened to myself, and I just followed my heart. So, and then eventually, when I grew up, I discovered I wanted to have my own show and stuff, and inspire people, have a platform to reach as many people as possible and to inspire them. So just like you, basically, same thing as you.
No, absolutely. And now, the next question I was going to ask you is, you mentioned you were a journalist, and I was wondering, would you ever be interested in interviewing me or writing about me?
Yeah, sure. That would be fun. And I've always support fellow journalists, fellow writer, and people that are inspire that try to inspire other people. So, I mean, I would love to. Yes.
No, I would appreciate it, not to impose on you. But the question I was really going to ask is, who influenced you to get into journalism? And you're also a publicist. How did those two come about?
So I study mass media communication and television broadcasting in school in Milan. So I've learned there how to edit videos, how to use Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, and everything. It just, it was natural. It just came naturally. When I moved in the United States to the United States, I was like, I like to cover events. When I was in Italy, actually, I was doing this. I was working. I forgot to mention, I was working with a magazine called Zephyr Magazine, which is about fashion, lifestyle, and I was doing, interviews, and I was kind of like, basically, people, everybody knew me there in Milan, because I was like, I was going to events and stuff, interviewing fashion personalities, designers and stuff. And so everything started like that. And then when I moved to the United States, that grew and grew, and then the Italian American community welcomed me, and I started work with a Italian American TV channel called See Italia TV, and I was doing interviews within the Italian American community in English, and that's how I improved, my English and stuff, by just, doing YouTube videos for myself and just practicing interviewing in English. I was like a mess at first because, as you can imagine, like I still have a thick accent, but it was kind of frustrating at first because it was even worse. When you first move to a country and you don't know the language like that well. I'm still learning every day. I don't think I'm perfect. I feel like I always keep I have to learn and improve myself. But when I just moved, it was like a mess. So I just kept doing what I love doing, improving, and everything was natural. Everything happened naturally to me.
All right. Well, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. And the last one I was going to ask you, I saw that you are very passionate about fashion. So, have you ever done like any fashion shows or like the catwalks and everything?
Yeah. Oh, me myself as a model, you saying?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't. Um, I'm more like I cover events like as I do interviews on the red carpet and stuff. I honestly feel like since I come from Milan, I'm just 5'4", so all the models in Milan are so tall. I'm like for fashion, I surely can't do that. But I've noticed here you embrace more diversity here in the United States. So I see like you have shorter models, curvy models, and I really like that attitude because I feel like everyone fashion is for everybody. It's not for one type of woman. And I feel like I will do that eventually because I like doing that. For now I do take pictures sometimes for my portfolio, my personal portfolio. As I'm in on television, I try to update my portfolio on a regular base, at least like I was shooting every 3 weeks or so, or every month, just for my social medias and stuff. But I've started to collaborate with photographers for my personal portfolio, and then they like it so much, then they kept asking me to model for them, and I said like, okay. I didn't really like I wasn't really a model. It was just for my personal usage, but then I kind of became, because they wanted me to shoot with them. So I was like, why not? I have a lot of friends that are photographers, and they do fashion week and stuff, events with me. They are part of the press. So it's like, yeah, why not? And I started to do that too. And actually, I found jobs also as a model. I'm like, wow, thank you. I mean, you never know until you try. So yeah,
No,
I'm very
absolutely. No, I didn't mean to interrupt. I do apologize.
no, no.
I like Skype because it doesn't really freeze that much. FaceTime, locks in and it's perfect sometimes and it freezes. But hey, that's technology. Hopefully one day I get a studio and we can sit down in person.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to.
Well, with that being said, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm gonna ask you some last three easy questions, and then I'm gonna pass the show over to you.
Okay.
Very. Arlene Schofield. My name is Shireen Snow.
My name is Carla A. Miles.
Diana Camuto. This is Christine Dunford.
I'm me, Eden.
Caroline Macy. This is Walker Fannin.
I'm Camille Dixon.
I'm Dates Wardam.
My name is Linda Presson, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Me, Mark Medley.
Hi everybody, this is Mark Neely.
Barry Babick.
This is Peter Bruno.
My name is Kyle Collier.
This is Julio Santiago, better known as Dynamite.
I'm Richard Epcar.
Lawrence Chow.
This is Kerrigan Mahan.
This is Goldar.
And we both support
Keith Andrew.
My name is Ron Wasserman, and I am supporting Keith Andrew and what he is doing, and you better do the same, or I'm gonna come kick your ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Keith Andrew Network. This is 483. I am your host, Keith Andrew, the one and only Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented and beautiful Vivi. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. Now,
Hey, welcome.
FaceTime. FaceTime's not always perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you now.
I said, hey guys, welcome back. It's Vivi.
Now, with the time remaining, I have 3 subjects I'd like to run past you. And the first one is, how do you feel about social media? Do you think social media can make you or break you?
Well, I think they can make you, but it's up to you if you let them break you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are responsible of what you post. So if you think you're posting something that is gonna have a consequence, like, then don't post it. It has to be something positive that makes people laugh, that maybe, that brings something positive to the world, not something negative. Because obviously you're gonna have a return, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you're gonna have eventually a consequence that people are gonna talk about it. How do you say that? Bashla?
A Bassin.
No, 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 no. Like, people, if it's negative, there is always karma,
Yeah.
karma involved. So I believe in karma, positive thinking. Do good and you receive good. If you do bad, then you receive bad.
No, it's true. There's a lot of garbage online that you get see, and you're sometimes scratching your head saying, how is this even online? Why is this acceptable?
Yeah, that's right. I think I like funny videos that are meant to entertain people. When you have a bad day, you're on Instagram, you don't want to, sometimes you just want to have fun and see funny things and stupid things, and it's okay. uh, as long as they don't harm other people, and offend other people, that's cool. That's Oh, the word I was looking for, it was backlash.
Yes.
So you don't want to have a backlash.
No, absolutely. And now the other subject I was going to ask you is how do you? I came up with this recently because the store I'm working in right now is closing, so it doesn't really make a difference at this point. I work at Toys R Us, and as you know, Toys R Us is dying. It's gonna disappear, and maybe in 10 years it comes back, but who knows? But with that being said, do you think all online shoppers are killing the retail market? I give you an example. People say,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's Amazon, it's Target, it's Walmart. They're killing people." And you think about it, how are they're just stores and names? It's the people who shop there that's killing the other stores because they think, oh well, I went to Target and I got better deals, and then I went to Walmart and they have better deals. But you go to another place, they're so expensive, and or you shop online. So it's pretty much people who shop online. It's killing the retail market because they want to be. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I tell you my thing after.
Honestly, I feel like, I don't know, if I talk for myself, I don't really like shop online that much. I mean, there are certain things I shop online and certain I don't. For example, I prefer to try my clothes on
Yeah.
rather than buy them online. So I don't know if that applies in my case, because most of the thing I need to touch them, but and try them on, because I don't trust. I mean, what if I buy the thing online and it comes in is the dress is larger and I get a return? It's too much stress for me. So I would rather, buy something on the store, at the store, at Target, whatever. But if we talk about like items that I find that are the same brand that I see on the shelf, and they cost less online, then why not? I think it depends on the mood. I have, like, sometimes I don't want to wait for the product to come home, because there is the process, and sometimes the item get lost and with the shipping and and stuff, so sometimes I'd be like, okay, I would rather just spend a little more and have it right away, because I need it. I seriously don't know about it. I don't know how to respond to this question, because I mean, I think about myself, and I'm not shopping online that much. So I don't know if the online shoppers are killing the market, because in my case, I see like other people. I believe it depends a lot on where do you live. Um, you know, where do you live, if
Well,
you're in a big city or not, you know.
but what I mean by it, it's like, if for my case, I have a disability and I don't drive. So ordering something online, it's easy because it can be shipped to you.
That's
But
right.
you won't have that human interaction like we're having right now. You're
Oh,
not in the room with me, but still we're talking. You won't have that interaction.
that's right.
And
Oh yeah,
no, go ahead.
absolutely. That's for sure. We need the human interaction, you know. And if we can't have it, somehow we can always create it, I feel. You know, I believe, I'm sure that even though you can't go out, there is always a way you can, have a human interaction like we are doing right now. We are having an interaction. So I feel like, yes, it could have a bad impact in that sense. Like, it's better maybe to go and talk to people. And I'm a very outgoing person myself, but I feel you can still do the same thing, even if you have a disability. It's just in a different way. I'm not the best person to judge that because I've never had it, but I can only imagine. And that's why I appreciate what you're doing, because you are helping other people, and that's, I feel like, it's a human interaction itself, and it's great, and it's really, really, I really appreciate. It's something really good that you're doing.
No, I agree with you. And we're wrapping up on this topic. Yes, I am guilty of shopping online. But if it's something not important, it's kind of like okay. But I'm like you. I like to go into the store. I like to try it. I want to toss it. See how it feels. And plus, you're interacting with someone. You don't want to be anti-social and stay home for the rest of your life and become a hermit and be this turn into a caveman or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, everyone has a different situation, so do your best based on your situation. I will encourage you to push yourself. Sometimes you can feel lonely or down, or, discouraged. Just, you can do anything you want in life. Just don't give up. Don't give up. Don't listen to other people. And trust me that our mind is a very powerful tool, and whatever you think, you become. So I believe, there are people that have disability, that have embraced that and make it like as their strength. And there are other people that unfortunately couldn't do that. It's up to you. You can make the difference, and that's for sure. Actually, you can be really inspiring for other people and motivate them, because everyone has, you know every we all go through stuff, and they can see themselves in you. Even though they are not disabled, or if they are disabled, they can see themselves in you and your strength and your power. Just start by believing in yourself that you can do anything, and don't put that as a limitation. Just make it as a strength, and just try to be positive. I know it sounds like, oh, this is just like a made up, you know uh phrase, or no, but it's really true. That always work, just to stay positive, and positive thinking. Love yourself.
No, absolutely. And hey, wrapping up, Bob, close on this. Your biggest enemy is yourself. So
Yes.
if you're comfortable with yourself, then you can do anything you like.
Yes, exactly. Like, I know I'm not disabled, thank God. I'm healthy, but I can't relate sometimes. People, or our own mind put our limitation. Like, we decide, like, I have an accent and I want to be on TV. For a lot of people, it's like a limitation. I see it as a strength, as a unique trait. Nobody's like me, so be your best self. you know your condition is not who you are. You know, what other people think of you is not who you are. That doesn't define you.
No, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air about wrapping up. My first question for you is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction and what made you say yes?
Well, honestly, I really like the fact that you are trying to encourage people, motivating and inspiring disabled people. So I really like that, and I'm always up to do the things like this. If I can bring a positive light to another light, a life, I will do that. I'm really honored actually that you asked me to be on the show because I feel it's important to give and not just receive. I feel like if we are better only if we make other people's better. So I really like the whole concept of the show.
No, absolutely. And the last question is, are you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter, Stage 32? How can your fans follow you?
Yes, I am on Instagram. You can follow me on at sorry I am Viola Vivi. IAM VIOLA VIVI. That's my Instagram. My let me think. Twitter is VIOLA MANU 89, Viola Manu 89. LinkedIn is Viola Manuela Ceccarini. That's my full name. It's a lot. It's long, I know. But basically, you can Google me and everything's come. I don't know if you're gonna put a title on the video. Hopefully, maybe you can put the name because it's really hard to spell. It's VIOLA space MANUELA space CECCARINI. So this is my full name. It's like I have two names. That's why I say people just call me Vivi because it's easier, especially American people.
I do have a couple questions for you off the air. About wrapping up your segment, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye. Have a good day.